That's right back, Charlie. Definitely.
There's always just that active when that defenders, I think, it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
Am I live? Finally, I'm live. People deluded, I'm back again. First things first, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night, depending on where you guys are placed in this world. Appreciative to you lot tuned in across Twitch and YouTube. And obviously, you know, it's a pleasure to be here and talk football day in, day out, week in, week out with you lot, people. Make sure you're following and subscribing across both platforms. You know, the engagement, the growth levels, the opinions, everything with you lot has been crazy over the last couple of days. Please may that continue, people. So, yeah, get any questions, talking points in. Please make sure we're hitting the like button. We don't get 200 likes, we're not going live. We're not talking about transfers, people. I know we have to, it's normally 100, but we need to start puffing out our chests. As I said, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Obviously, where us Arsenal fans are concerned, signing players and being linked with players are two very different things. But, you know, it's amazing being linked with them. And ifs and buts of football. But if you're able to pull off Raphinha, Gabriel Jesus, Telemans, and this Martinez guy at Ajax, it's a step in the right direction. Especially for me, don't get it twisted. We need a striker. And Gabriel Jesus has been the somewhat poster boy of our summer transfer stuff. Raphinha's a winger. It's easy to get excited about him. But if the midfield specifically is not addressed, and I don't think we're going to do anything serious next season. I'm not saying we're going to win the league if we get a midfielder, but we're going to live or die by our midfield. And our midfield isn't good enough, really and truly. At our best, when everybody's fit, there's a missing piece to the puzzle in that you've got Partey there, Odegaard in the 10 potentially, and then the number 8 role. So you can, and on top of that, you can have Raphinha, Gabriel Jesus as much as you want. If you've got no control in midfield, if you're not breaking down low blocks, if there's not consistent movement, if there's not someone sending a text, someone needs to receive it in it. So midfield is an area that Arsenal Football Club still need to address. We cannot make any mistake about that. I am a bit disappointed to hear the Telemans one's taking a back burner. I hope it's taking a back burner because there's some confidence that the homework and everything's been done as we try and get Gabriel Jesus over the line, probably punching above our weight and dream chasing somewhat, getting Raphinha, because I'm pretty sure Raphinha must be a player they admire and things, but he can't have been someone that they saw as a feasible target this season. Maybe if Saka was to not sign a new deal and maybe leave, or if Pepe leaves, then that presents a different thing, really. And one has to wonder, how many signings can we make without bringing them in? No shit, Sherlock. I mean, to be fair, I told YouTube I'm late. I apologize for being late. You know, it is what it is. But you know, you're not paying me to be here. You know, I'm here at my own accord, and I appreciate you. Look, let's put some respect to my name. It's not going live. Respect, you know. Relax yourself a tiny bit, man. I'm here for the banter, though. A man said, "What's gonna happen first, Vieira announcement or DG going live?" Well, actually, I would have preferred Fabio Vieira to have been announced because it would have made everything easier. I don't know about side pieces and things like that. I don't know, man. I just talk football, man. I'm trying to be like you, man. Big up DG, like you said. Relax, bro. Calm yourself down. Man like deluded, big up, my man. Appreciate you lot. Nathan, I see you commented first. Shout the South Africans. I still think we'll get Telemans. I hope so. But if we end up only getting Raphinha and Jesus, it won't be so bad. I mean, if you get Fabio and Ruiz, that's the only thing. But, you know, 1 minute, Telemans is the priority. You know, we've spoken to his agent for over a year. We want to get it done. And then it's almost this. Is there a confidence that only a couple of I's need to be dotted and T's need to be crossed in the event of Telemans? Because I don't think this is a season of either or. I think it's one where you need to address all these areas, really. Come on, TM. Shout out to you, man. I hope you're enjoying your new trim. Shout out South Bend, Indiana, Davey. Morning, DG. Most hardworking Arsenal content creator. Much appreciated for providing a daily show and for the length of time you interact with your fans. Graham, I appreciate that. And that's because you lot talk sense. It's, you know, obviously, I want Raphinha to sign for Arsenal and all these other things, but, you know, I enjoy the conversation with you lot. It's just like talking to my mates, really. So I appreciate that. There's always one Dermot has said, people, not going to lie, I'm not optimistic about our business. We're always linked to good players, but facts as we've only signed a second keeper and some dead South American youth. That's not nice to refer to him as that. But I understand why you might be underwhelmed. And you said a crucial thing there in that for all the talk, business isn't done. You know, you can talk about Raphinha. He's not signed. Gabriel Jesus at this moment in time, he's not signed. So there is something in that. Appreciate you, South London's finest, Charlie and James in the cut as well. I don't really get why we're getting Raphinha. The more I think of it, Zaha makes more sense, can play both wings and is a legend for the dark arts. I'm not sure I support that really and truly. You know, I was seeing where you was going until you dropped Zaha. No, they take nothing away from him. You think Vieira could play as an 8? Yep. More reason to have quality competition in every position next season is the fact you'll be able to sub 50% of the outfield players every game. Exactly. And you filter in, we don't know what knock-on effect the November to December World Cup period is going to have on players. You know, the second half of the season, there's going to be a lot of a fixture pile-up. Injuries are part and parcel of daily life as an Arsenal fan. You know, I personally think Mikel Arteta, you'll see a lot more rotation or a lot more subs if he gets better players. I don't think it's fair to say he doesn't rate the Haaland boys, but there's a reason a bag of them have been called up several times, traveling up and down the country, and it's great for them. How many have played in a minute of the Premier League? That just tells me they're squad fillers. They're just literally just names and numbers traveling with the squad. They're just bodies, really. So I do think we might see more rotation within how we line up in the start in the game, and obviously subs once he gets better players. But I don't know that for sure, man. High bills for you lot and no signings going through. If you don't like the stream, filthy gears. I respect it. I respect it. I respect it. It is what it is in that regard. So yeah, man, it is what it is. We've been linked with Raphinha. We've been linked with Jesus. There's been a bunch of players. Apparently, Gabriel Jesus, his agents flown to London. Yuri Tellerman's deal is off. You know, Raphinha. You know, Arsenal trying to get him. So we're gonna have to see how this develops and what exactly happens, people. On that, we might as well have a little. Again, hit the like button, people. We don't get to 200 likes. We ain't talking about transfers. We'll just stare at each other, really and truly. Pause. Trying to see if there's any other Arsenal news. It seems like Fabio Vieira ain't been announced. Fair enough. Thought that was gonna be something we would have seen. Ex-Arsenal youngster set for championship return. Shout out to completely off topic, people, but shout out to Colin Bramwell. Apparently, he's joining. Where's he going? He's joining Rotherham. Fair enough. Shout out Colin Bramwell, boy. I thought you was done for. Richarlison links are back. Ozil drama, people. Allegedly, Mesut Ozil unfollows Fenerbahce on social media as ex-Arsenal star considers quitting football to go into esports. He's been limited, the 33-year-old, to just 21 appearances last season due to various injuries. He's had problems with Gabriel Jesus, the gaffer. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Apparently, yeah. Joey Barton offered to settle score with Ishbak Darbo in charity fight and reveals all about training bust up. I mean, only people like Joey Barton can coexist in football and carry on with their nonsense, man. Morning, DG. Good. I'm good, man. To be with you lot, I'm always good, man. This is Arteta's third full year. He can't afford to have holes and it affecting the running. Facts, and he can't have any excuses. You've been here. DG, I want Raphinha because Saka will not burn like last season, and we need a big squad too because it's going to be 5 subs. DG enjoying the sun outside the Emirates. I hear it. I thought, let me try a different display picture. If we get Raphinha, we'll win Europa League. Can't do another season watching Xhaka or El Nene in midfield. It's unbearable. A bit harsh to El Nene and Xhaka, to be fair. But, you know, I can't do another season with Granit being the main guy in midfield because, again, you're going to get a mixed bag of results. Some games are going to look better than others, genuinely. Not just him, but it's just not going to be enough ultimately. But again, if we do the same things, can we be surprised if the same result, we ultimately keep finding the same results, really and truly? I dream of a world where next year we don't sign another centre-back because I'm not against it, but, you know, are we doing something right if we keep buying centre-backs and keep signing for and keep moving for midfield, moving for centre-backs? Surely there's something there. Crazy stuff. And obviously, a lot of clubs have to think about the homegrown limit, and it seems that we're doing all right in that regards. I know some of you still care about Aaron Ramsey. Aaron Ramsey is willing to leave Juventus with his contract being terminated. The player is demanding half his net salary. Juventus will offer him 2 million. The player is ready to move to Cardiff. The third return to Cardiff. If you remember, he went on loan to Cardiff when he was rehabilitating from his injury during his time at Arsenal. So we'll have to see. You lot want transfer news? Hit the damn like button, people. Where are we at now? Tough crowd, 65 likes. Boy, no worries here. I'm here for a good time and a long time. Well, see you lot saying. Appreciate you, Mac. Hope you're doing well. Do you think we'll get Jesus over the line? Yeah, somewhat now. Like this background, but got to be Eddie behind you, the new Henry. I don't know about that. I wonder when Saliba will get a new contract. You'd imagine at some point this season, as this summer, better yet, we've got to start reaching out to Martinelli, Saka, and Gabriel's advisors. I find it so strange. No manager seems to want competition or replacement for Xhaka. What is it about this guy? You'd have to ask them. I don't think he's a bad player, but I don't think he's an amazing player. There's got to be a reason every Arsenal manager, including Wenger, that's been there in the last few whatever, has utilized him. But you could play devil's advocate and say, ultimately, that's why none of them really had much success. Shout out to Bell and Aaron in Cardiff. I can't stand watching Xhaka week in, week out next season. We need Telemans. On this question, where do you think Arsenal are when compared to the other top 6 clubs? Well, I think United, Arsenal, and Spurs are in a mixed bag. Nobody's achieved nothing or done anything. We can talk about trophies until we're blue in the face to Spurs. Spurs got Conte. They've got, more experienced players. They finished ahead of us the last 6 years, but ultimately, they're always building something, never done anything. United are United. They're still relying on historical prestige. They haven't finished us ahead of us too many times since Ferguson's left, but it's still United. It's still Arsenal. City are third. Chelsea, are third in front. You've got City and Liverpool at the top end, the top 2. You've got Chelsea in that mixed bag where they're in their own world, and then you've got Arsenal, United, Spurs, just that mixed bag over there. Is White really worth 50 million? He looks a bit dodgy against stronger, taller opponents. I don't know. He's have to prove it. The jury's still clearly out. Would you take Cesc Fabregas on the free, not to be a starter, but to work with the squad and cover minutes in the EFL, FA Cup? Nope. You can start your managerial career, but the Cesc Fabregas of a few years is not there right now. Is the Telemans deal actually off? It looks like it's on the back burner. Smash the like button. DG, we need Hickey if Tavares is going out on loan. I don't think we're going to get Aaron Hickey now. The only way we get him is if this Lisandro Martinez thing, in my opinion, doesn't work. Centre back able to play at left back and obviously able to step into midfield. We need to sign Raphinha and Jesus. If we do that, we can challenge for top 4. Regardless of who comes in, who doesn't, certain people need to challenge for top 4. But I get the point. I'm with you. We're at 88 likes. That's not quite 200 people. So let's keep moving. I'm not saying they're dead. They're just average. I hear you. Make or break season for Arteta, for me at least. I'd say that. But 3-year deal. If he was to finish 5th again, would he necessarily get sacked by Arsenal? I'm not necessarily too sure. Because they'll still reckon it's the process. But at the same time, it's a results-driven business. A lot of money has been spent under Mikel Arteta. Based on assuming everything that we're trying to do this window is done, more money would be spent. And with great power comes great responsibility, really and truly. Like, you've got to be able to justify things. When Pep spends money and doesn't succeed, people mention the Champions League. People even mention Liverpool stuff. People mention Spurs. People mention us. So people got to mention Mikel Arteta. If Arsenal fans are frustrated with Xhaka, then you'll hate every third game when Telemans gives up and looks hungover. I think you can do better. Drop Saka as a right back to give Raphinha right wing and make that pair grow like Arnold and Salah. Naji. Saka's a winger still. Need a midfielder to challenge or midfielders. Hi, DG. Last season, Raphinha versus Martinelli had some stats relatively on average. The pendulum switched towards Raphinha based on goals, but is 50 million really worth it unless the focus is on squad depth? I mean, what are these variables you're looking at? I think Raphinha's got scope to grow. I think he wants to be a star man. He helps us with depth. Yeah, I sanction it really and truly. I think Raphinha, whether it's at Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea, Barcelona, I think his numbers get a lot better when he's with better players. If I'm completely honest with you. For what it's worth, I don't think we're getting Raphinha, but I'm happy to talk about it, speculate about it, and ultimately live the dream. I just don't think it's going to happen. 90 more likes and we get the transfer news, people. Saka can do a job right back, but the only way Saka's going fullback again is if we're doing some bookie free at the back where Saka is playing as a proper wing back, and that allows us to free up opportunities to bring other people in. I don't know about that. To be honest, Saka played. Don't you remember under Mikel Arteta? Saka played as a left-sided centre mid at times. I think Arsenal are after 4 more signings. Raphinha and Jesus are obviously the priority as it stands. Then they'll bid for Martinez. If Telemans becomes available, we'll get him later in the window. You see, I agree with you. But that's where I think the Raphinha one is going to drag, because surely it feels like Jesus got already out of the door at City, and all the other guys, Ajax are on selling players if you give them the P's. But maybe we're trying to move ahead of things because, again, if Barcelona sort out their financial situation, if, I don't know, Nkunku and Sterling and these guys don't move, then Chelsea are going to be back there. I don't know what Spurs are doing with Richarlison, but you get the point. Any news for Gabriel Jesus? Boy, get to 200 likes. We will look at what's going on in that world. Like Trent, I don't know about that. Like, Saka can't defend as well, bro. Like, can't defend. Like, against Spurs away, can't defend. Saka's best game, I've always said this, like, at fullback, he switched on in that, but it's the defending that's the problem. Saka, listen, stop the Saka. No, Saka has played right wing back, so he played it against City, but the man's a winger. Like, the man's a winger. You got to get that fallacy out of your head of him playing right back and obviously Raphinha playing right wing. I hear what you're saying. It's not happening. Look at the stats. People need to remember that Raphinha was playing in an injury-riddled team and bad Leeds team. Bless up, DG. Thanks for another vid. You get kicked out of the Emirates today, probably because you leaked Vieira's picks. Look at this guy, man. How peed are fans going to be if we don't make any of these signings? Boy, if you don't make any of these signings, I don't know. You might not get Raphinha, but you need to go and find Joe Bloggs. That's a winger. There's no retried hype. It's a results-driven business. Why did we not sign Basuma? Because we probably wanted a different profile midfielder. Would you keep Arteta if we finish 6th but win the FA Cup? Nope. If you win Europa League and finish 6th, that can grant you an extended stay, even though other clubs would probably clip you for that and probably should clip you for that. But nope. Come on now. That's regression. The whole one thing that I do like the process Arsenal are trying to develop and things, but it does feel almost like we move at a pace where it's almost like we expect the rest of the league to say, okay, Arsenal, you lot take your time, catch up. Wait till your players hit field maturity and things like that. You always think about tomorrow, and we need to keep level heads, but there needs to be a bit more urgency of today. I think if these things were there, I think we get top 4 because certain things are not done in January. Certain things are not done at the end of the season. We don't start the season how we're supposed to, really. Martinelli could become a striker. I don't know how Arteta sees it now, obviously with Eddie and Nketiah and what seems like Gabriel Jesus is arriving, but I still back the project Martinelli through the middle, if I'm honest with you. DG, when will Fabio Vieira be announced? I'm not convinced to the shirts on the player. Apparently today, allegedly, some reports say, but can't verify that. Stop spamming, dudes. Please don't spam. It's just going to get you locked out of this. Getting Martinez means Marie definitely is sold. Left-footed centre-backs are rare. Hopefully he keeps it moving. I did see apparently Arsenal are monitoring Alexis Sanchez. Surely banter. Julian Brandt from Dortmund apparently available too. There's some cracking talent up for grabs this window. Couple of years too late now. I think we should stay clear of him. Surprised you're not in for Rabiot? Nope. Very good footballer, but in terms of them good players, he's quite average and a lot of baggage, overinflated ego, over sense of importance. His mum and his advisors, consistent headache. Forget that. In primary school. I think Scamacca would be a great signing. He might be. What would you rate the window if we got Jesus, Raphinha, Telemans, Vieira, and Martinez? The wickedest thing is I sound like I'm ungrateful, but it still feels like with them names, something is missing. I don't know what it is, but something would be missing. But I'd say for me personally, an 8. For Arsenal, I mean, it'd have to be a 20 out of 10, innit? Nobody could let alone see Raphinha alone, let alone Raphinha, Jesus, Telemans, Vieira, and Martinez. But I would like to see some outgoings as well, man. Sly, I think we are selling Saka, unfortunately. I do think Saka isn't going to end his career here, and if them teams there ask you, but you're not the finished article. There's been times where Saka's been subject to scrutiny for England or at Arsenal, that it's only going to be magnified a lot more if you leave. You know, Arsenal fans, Saka to a degree can do no wrong. Everything's going to be scrutinized, and you're not going to play as much as you do at City or Liverpool. I couldn't begrudge you for going there. They're competitive sides. Whether we sell Saka in the next 2 years is another thing. Do I think he's staying for his whole career? But no, but I don't think there's any reason for him to keep it moving or not, man. If I'm honest. Apparently, Arsenal have already made a bid close to 60 million euros for Raphinha. It is thought that there's already an agreement between Arsenal and Leeds. Crucial meeting next week between Barcelona and Deco to inform if Barca can complete or not. I hear that. Surely can't give the number 14 to a player you'll leave on the bench with these two signings. That's disrespectful to the history and Henry. I mean, the number 14 was there before Henry. It's going to be there after. Could have been retired, maybe should have been retired, but the world's just going to keep spinning. 146 likes, and we get into the transfer news. We're soon at 200. I mean, it is what it is. Eddie Nketiah has got the number 14 now. Going to have to live with it. I don't agree with its disrespecting tradition and the club and all of these sort of things. You know, I think we're moving a bit OTT there, but I hear you. Would you consider Fabregas instead of Telemans? Nope. Are we playing 3-5-2 next season? You'd have to ask Mikel Arteta. If we get Telemans, do you think we need to send Sambi on loan? If you got Basuma, Sambi could have gone on loan. I think you need to keep Sambi, Lokonga, and El Nene to somewhat play backups and rotations for Thomas Partey. I do think Raphinha's agents are playing us, really. That's why I don't think we're getting him, but I'm happy to talk about it. I'd prefer Fabian Ruiz as well, bro. Arteta knows that next season is make or break. We have to massively progress next season. He's had enough time. But is it? He's got a good relationship with the owner. Fantastic. You've got a new deal. See, everything we hear is that he's building something. We all know there's positive negativity and negative positivity and just negativity. I do think he'd be able to survive. You know, there's been times where he's done quite well, but there's also been times where, let's have it right, other managers at other clubs would have been sacked for far less or may not have survived certain periods. So we'll have to see. Can we get Jesus and Raphinha? Take a make or break. Sorry, people making a timestamp. Love to you lot. Close to 400 of you locked in across Twitch and YouTube. Don't forget 4:15 on Twitch. You're watching England. Well, not England. We're watching under 19s Euros. England play on Wednesday. We'll do a watch along for that. Come on, man. Emi Martinez chatting about us for no reason. Forget it, man. He needs to, bro. Emi Martinez, heal, bro. Go to therapy. Heal, man. Please. Pardon me. Arteta will play a back three next season with this many centre backs. We need to be able to play a back three. I think if we went with a back three against Spurs and Newcastle, we don't lose them games. Both teams can't break down low blocks. Instead, we were feeling sorry for ourselves. We were licking our bruises. We went out there and exposed ourselves. And you saw Spurs mashed us up. Newcastle mashed us up. We played a naive game. And for me, again, that's something I've got to learn with Arteta. Eddie Howe, you know he's a good tactician. Graham Potter, you know he's a good tactician. Vieira, based on at Palace, he's shown he's a good tactician. Conte, nothing doesn't need to be explained. When Arteta comes up against these men, sometimes he does them, but sometimes they throw spanner in the works, or sometimes they ask problems of him, people. So yeah, it's crazy, man. Arsenal want to sign Raphinha from Leeds and are hoping signing Vieira will help them to do that. Both players are represented by the same agency, which is run by Mendes. So I guess Deco works for them as well. Big up, DG. I've got a slight feeling that maybe Gab Jesus agent is flying to London to speak about potentially getting Saka in exchange or first review for Saka. Sterling leaving opens the door for Saka. I don't quite think that's the case, but I hear that. That's the thing. Arteta, listen, I know Arteta. If we're playing on, what's today? Tuesday. If we're playing on Sunday, I have no doubt that Arteta can watch an opponent, study an opponent, think about an opponent. The problem is when a spanner is thrown in the work or you need to react in game, 9 times out of 10, I think he struggles. And I think he either rotates too much or doesn't rotate at all. Like shown against Brighton with the lineup he randomly went with Odegaard, Smith Rowe and Lokonga in midfield. I think they could all be able to do that one day. But against Graham Potter, in the context of us needing to react, and in that game, you set them up to fail. So these are the things I think he needs to learn, man. Hope you're doing well. I feel we need a backup at right back. I mean, I would like to move Cedric on and bring in a right back, but I'm prepared if it means we can bring someone in or allocate funds towards someone that can play at left back or be a left back. I'd rather that, innit? really, because Ben White can also step across and get into that. 400 of you locked in. Unexpected high bills if you haven't hit the like button. God bless everyone on YouTube who has hit the like button. If you want Arsenal to sign Gabriel Jesus Raphinha, hit the like button. If you're a pagan and you don't want us to, then hit the like button. It is what it is, people. I mean, I think Saka leaves this summer for Liverpool City. I don't think so, but if he leaves, he leaves, bro. I love Saka, but if he cuts, he cuts. Simple as that. Like, make sure you got replacements. Man, seen Henri and these guys leave this football club. He's Bukayo Saka, respectfully. Wavy done, but come on now, man. Nah, I feel like Arteta will stay unless we finish outside the top 6. Agreed. Big up G1. Get the likes up, people. Come on, man. Would Arsenal fans be on board with hijacking the Sterling transfer if Raphinha doesn't work out? Well, why not? Who else is there? I don't think there's any hype on Saka. If anything, he gets belittled. Right back in the defensive mid, if they never renewed on his contract, and it would have been a 10. Rabiot is bang average. To be honest, for one window, it's an 8, but for what we need, 7. I hear that. And plus, I would have to mark it down. I might be looking at it too technical, but outgoings as well. I ain't going to sit here and cap. If you bring Raphinha, Telemans, Jesus all in tomorrow, then I'm not going to sit here and belittle it. But we need to do the outgoings thing, innit? You know, you need to address the elephant in the room of Saka. A couple of young players' futures need to be decided. And half of the players on loan really need to keep it moving. Apart from Saliba, potentially to a degree, Reece Nelson. But arguably, you could say even him, it's best to just cut, really. If Raphinha comes in, it's a myth for you, really. Especially while your contract's running out. Why does Raphinha deal sound like Vlahovic saga? This is why I always say we just comment. You know, I would love Raphinha. We'll talk about it in an ideal world, but them signings is another thing. This is just talking points. The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately, as I keep saying, people. Like, this is what you've got to adhere to, man. But the thing is, we need to get some outgoings, man. Like, I hear you. I'd rather too big of a squad. If it's winter, I'd rather too many jackets than not enough. Like, we left ourselves cold last season. But we need to address some of these players, man. A lot of people celebrating a good window prematurely. Wait for the players to be signed before getting too excited. Exactly, because facts are, we've signed some American goalkeeper. You know, a youngster learning his tricks and trades from Brazil. Some Buki centre-back called Austin Tusty. We might get Jesus, which looks like it's going to get there. We might go back for Telemans. We hope for Raphinha. We're enticed to see what happens with Martinez. There's probably some other links I'm missing out. But yeah, man. I hope Saka is there to stay. But if he wants to leave, I'm at the point where, bro, anyone who wants to cut. Would it hurt me to see Saka leave? Of course, but it is what it is. Like, cut, innit? Like, the club's going to be here before and after many a players. Even when us lot die, people, the club is still going to be here. DG, don't you think the availability of the players is gradually decreasing in transfer market? That's why many teams are monitoring the similar players. I wouldn't say such. It's just it's business, innit? Nobody wants to sell good players. And when you're trying to sell players that are shit, you're going to struggle to find people. I mean, he can be one of the best goalkeepers in MLS. When your time comes, make sure you do your thing, innit? That's all I want to hear. Appreciate you lot for tuning in. Where do you predict us to finish next season? Without seeing the signings arrive, you know, we can finish as high as 4th or as low as 8th, like I said last summer. DG Arteta wants to copy Pep, in my opinion, playing a 4-3-3, hence the signing of Raphinha as a wide forward. Although agree we need to be flexible and adapting our system. We do. We're not Liverpool or City. We haven't batted up the league to just do what we need to do. If you want to play 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, Bob, that's what I want to see. But you need to be able to have that, a plan B. Can you switch to a back 5? That's it for me. Because a back 5 doesn't have to be defensive. When Arteta first come in, I'm sure we was with a back 5 and we shored it up a bit defensively. I do think at times, especially when we was feeling sorry for ourselves in away games, that could have helped us. I'd rather I can't say his name, but Mikel, I don't really rate Dumfries at all. Wavy going forward, suspect, whatever. Players leave every day, B. Come on. Is Bellerin still on the wage bill? He's an upgrade on Cedric right now. Two meaty dons and shit as each other, man. Probably Fabrizio Romano and Yuri Telemans this week will be important. Arsenal have to be fast. Bro, be as fast as you can. If Telemans don't sign, get a next on. Simple as that. To be honest, he has struggled with in-game management because he hasn't had options off the bench. But then again, that's his fault, though. So we have to see, man. He has to hold his own. Well, that's the thing. I do think sometimes the excuses that Arteta should be afforded, they're not giving into him. And then I feel there's every excuse under the sun where fans don't actually stop and listen to what they're saying. This is what I mean by a lot of football fans, specific to my club. They're not honest. Some Arsenal fans are so negative. They refuse to give the club any acknowledgement for what they've done or doing or trying to do. Some fans are just living in la la land where they're celebrating saved wages. We could man are saying it's good that we're not in the Champions League despite the opportunity we had. What the hell are you talking about? Both dishonest as hell. They're lying to the people, but lying to themselves. And half of the people that do this are with vested interests. Really and truly. No, Ainsley, move on now. We tried it, but come on now. I like Ainsley, but come on now. Just keep it moving. Just keep it moving. Fully 2 nitties foot fighting outside the bookies. G1, appreciate you for plugging the ting pause. Follow the Twitch as well if you're somehow not following DG on Twitch. What else did you say as well? Your other comment. Big up the nation. Over 200 likes. Let's push on to 300. Let's push on to 300 now, folks. Appreciative to you lot who are doing such. A promise is a promise. Let me take in a couple questions and we'll start looking at the transfer news. Yeah, calm down, bro. It's my show. We do what the hell I want when I want to do. This is a dictatorship, bro. Appreciate the South Africans. You lot asking such good questions and thought-provoking ones. I think Saka only extends if we really improve in the league and get Champions League, although I don't see him staying for more than 3 years. What club do you think wants Pepe? I think we might as well. I think he's likely to go back to France, man. Odegaard and Telemans can play together, bro. Come on, Arsenal. Let's get Gabriel's signature as soon as possible. This is Arteta's last season if he doesn't win Europa or top 4. Can you see Arsenal signing a left back? Surely Tavares can't be second choice. At best, it looks like we're grabbing a centre back that can play there. We need a backup left back, really. I can't confirm any deal for Gabriel Jesus, man. What will make you say Arteta out next season if we're not able to, if you can't show we're competitive, bro? If you show me that you're growing something, you're growing something special at the club. You can get young players. You show me some togetherness, but these are things managers should be doing anyways. If you're not showing us we're improving in terms of being competitive, getting top 4, fighting for it, or not bottling it when we have it in our hands. If you're not showing that improvement, it's a results-driven game. The coach should be doing I feel a lot of things Arteta gets praised for, even myself that praises him for it. I feel you should be doing that anyway. So if you don't get thingy, if you don't fight for top 4 properly, if you don't get to the final of the Europa League, if you don't keep improving the evident areas that need to improve, then you've shown you can take us past the limit and you've learned a lot, but you're not ready right now, innit, really? So that's what will be it, really. Odegaard, no Odegaard slander, man. I had that. Big up DJ every time. Are you going to start a FIFA series on FIFA 23? I think that would be sick. Maybe. I have a bad feeling that Saka's going to Man City, hence our interest in Raphinha. Bro, what about Broja from Chelsea? Fell off in the second half of the season. I would, Broja is a don that you bring in when you have another guy. Like if you bring in Jesus and him, fair play. But Eddie signed a new deal. I can't see it happening. How confident are you, DG, that Arsenal have alternatives in mind if we can't get Jesus and Raphinha? Who would be your next choices for those positions? Up front, it's the same names we've been linked with. On the wings, you might as well try again for Gnabry and things like that, and Dream Chase, really, which things that we can't do, or just leave it. Do you think Brook Norton Coffey can start over Tomiyasu? Not now, not anytime soon. He's not ready. He's had half a season at Lincoln where he's had some great games and some shaky games. Let him go out on loan and flip and develop. Should be hitting League One again or going to the Championship. Because when you're playing some very good players, because when he eventually plays Premier League football and gets destroyed, fans are going to act amazed. No, Bergwijn is a spitting image of me, bro. I don't look like Bergwijn. Bergwijn looks like me, and he must be one handsome young man as well. What can I say? If we're somehow related, Bergwijn, all I'm saying is invest in the channel, innit? I heard you're leaving North London. I'll leave North London if you invest some of them finances. I'll go live in South Beach and that. Why not, man? Cody Gakpo, again, a development player. Again, if we're signing them dons, Arteta needs to make sure you're developing them. But we've been linked with him. Make that happen, innit? As I said, I don't want to hear we tried. I don't want the we tried thing. Some fans get gassed off the we tried thing. You need to make things happen. If I tried to win a race, if I'm an aspiring Olympian and I tried to race in the qualifiers and I finish the race, but I don't finish in a qualifying position, I've competed